We got this 8,000 square foot building. We paid under $300,000 for it. It used to be a Payless. Payless couldn't make it here. We're gonna make it a laundromat, and the laundromat, I guarantee you, is gonna make money. So we got this building for under $300,000. All right, you want me to put this in here? Yeah. Okay, all right, Badge, I got her. Okay. This building is actually, it's actually a really great location. It's a really busy street. We have a U-Save, which I always like to be next to larger grocery stores. It's actually a huge, massive building. I mean, I can't believe we bought a building for under $300,000 when it's 8,000 square feet. So it's actually even bigger than we really needed. So we're gonna probably put a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot laundry in there. We've already got equipment, unfortunately, because we bought it because prices have been going up so crazy. So we ended up purchasing it before we're done to save basically 9 to 10% in escalation fees just from inflation. All right, so we're gonna go to, it's actually not even Kansas City, Missouri. It's gonna be Independence, Missouri, which is a suburb of Kansas City. We found a building at Payless, and it was actually dirt cheap. I think it was under $300,000. So, and it's a huge building, and Missouri's more lax with the skill games. They don't have as much regulation on it. I'm gonna actually put a casino type thing in the back of this. We actually have 2 different locations in Missouri, which we're gonna run actual rooms that are gonna be, they call them parlors, but they'll actually be casino games that people can play away from the laundry, like that one we just showed you. So also with this laundry, it is so absolutely massive that we're gonna have giant wide aisles. We're gonna have tons of folding, or we're gonna have tons of seating. And we're actually gonna make in the back like a parlor. So a parlor is basically when you have skill games dedicated area. So we can actually expand it to however big we want. We'll probably start with 8 games. And also we're gonna be in Missouri this time. So Kansas City, Missouri has completely different rules and regulations than Kansas City, Kansas. And it's a lot more relaxed and laid back. So I think that it could be really big in Missouri. There's a lot of games that are actually coming to the market. And I know the Vanilla, which is one of my favorite games, is testing that area right now and seeing what the legislation is gonna be. Sorry, honey. So I actually think it could be huge. I mean, the skill game piece over there might be just as big as the laundry. Missouri is gonna be a whole different ball game. I'll actually show you, like this building, I still can't believe it. Like if I were to buy a 10,000 square foot building in Omaha, I don't care where it's located, you're not gonna buy it under $1 million. If we went to LoopNet right now, there would be nothing under $1 million. The fact that this was 200 something, it was a no-brainer. We're gonna put a massive laundry. It's gonna be very spacious, because it doesn't make sense to put a 10,000 square foot laundry just from the demographic. So we probably only needed like a 4,000, 3,500 square foot laundry, but we got the space, so we're gonna let the people have it. We're gonna make it nice and open. We're gonna have a really big layout, like with big machines. There's gonna be plenty of folding space. I mean, you'll have 100 people in this laundry and you'll never know it. And like I said, when you get there, sometimes when you gut a building, it's hard to tell how massive it is. But with this one, unlike this one, we can do these videos the whole way through and you can see the walls go up. And then at the end, you'll be like, holy cow, this thing is massive. Where that building is actually a small laundry. I mean, admittedly so. And like I said, the fact that we bought it as a 1031 exchange, I mean, it definitely hurt us. Like, I mean, we would have normally vetted it out more, but we had a very short time frame. I think we were the last day of our 60 days. So I ended up making a purchase order on it. And I actually drove down the next day and I actually brought these guys with me. But we didn't go behind the dryers. We didn't see all the electrical mess. We didn't see all the issues with makeup air. Like just from the outside looking in, it looked like an old rundown laundry that they didn't look like they had any business even working on. And we actually came down and we got a lot of that equipment working, but it was just so worn out that I was like, we'd have somebody down here constantly fixing it. So we just decided to retool it. And like I said, it's gonna be a lot better laundry now. That Walmart being the hub, that's huge. People are gonna go do their, they're gonna go drop off their laundry, then they're gonna go get some groceries, and they're gonna come back and pick up their laundry. So this window should be covered, so I wonder if we don't have somebody in here that shouldn't be in here. You see we got a little bit of graffiti, but yeah. JJ something, blah, blah. I always get to know the local gangs when I start laundromats. I'll tell you right now, there ain't much to worry about. Well, if someone's sleeping in this building, they're gonna get a rude awakening. Hold on a second, I gotta get. Don't walk on the dirt because there's some sinkholes in here. Don't walk on the dirt. We do have something right now that's actually shutting us down. You're gonna notice when we go in there, we got yellow caution tape. So we actually cut the floor because we make a giant pit for all the water to go in. And one of the workers actually started to cross it and fell in with one leg, thankfully, instead of his whole body. And when you look down the hole, it's like a 9 or 10 foot sinkhole. So we just gotta make sure that there's no other issues. And like I said, it doesn't seem to be a huge issue. It seems like there might've been a pipe that was leaking that just slowly eroded it just in that area. But we gotta make sure there's nothing else or anything that's gonna jeopardize the integrity of the building. I say do your due diligence, but there's no way we could have known about this. I mean, we literally cut concrete up and found it. So it's not like we just had someone miss this or someone overlooked it. But I mean, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you have things come up and you just gotta stop and make sure it's safe because we don't want anybody to get hurt and then resume work. Okay, so we're now in actual Missouri. We're in Kansas City, Missouri, but we're actually a little farther. We're actually in Independence, which is a suburb. And this is a Payless shoe store that we have purchased. I think it was under $300,000. I'll actually get the exact figure. But we got all of this space for under $300,000, and we've already gutted it, and we've already started cutting the floor. So the washers will be right on when you walk in the door, all the way down there. So you're gonna have the floor drains and the washers. So this floor is gonna be a pit dug, and then we'll put all the washers on there. You'll also see that we have the washers here. Now normally I don't buy the washers, I don't have them come until we're almost ready to open. But since they're having 8% price increases, I think we have $900,000 worth of equipment in here. So 9% on $900,000, yeah, we took it early. I mean, normally we wouldn't do that, but we did in this case. So we actually have all the equipment that we'll actually be putting in here. So you have all wrapped up, still ready to go. So this is like a 45-pound machine. We were just out with those 135s. There'll be some 80s in here. We got a lot of dryers, all our vending. So here's our vending machines like we just had at the other store. We looked at it. They're all sitting in here, all wrapped. You know what? We used to buy them all three for like $10,000, but with inflation, I think we're up to $16,000. So I think those three are $16,000. Again, some stores we make $1,000 roughly a week. So in 4 weeks, we make $4 grand. We pay them off pretty quick. It'd be foolish to finance them because they pay for themselves pretty quick. I mean, that's not taking the labor, but I'm already paying managers, but they're also driving to Sam's Club, they're driving to soap stores, they're going to all these different places. The labor can be factored in, but I don't even know what you would attribute to it if you do like 20% of their time, 15% of their time. So just on a straight cost basis, the product they sell, half a year they're paid for. But again, we still got the 18 with us, so they're checking things out. We actually have a stoppage on this with caution because we can see the hole in the floor there. But someone tried to cut across one of the contractors, and there's like a 9-foot hole. Sounds like there was like a pipe that was leaking, but it actually looked like dirt. But when he stopped, and he's lucky that he stepped one leg into it and he got caught, because I mean it's 9 feet down. We could put a camera in there. He could have been all the way down. So we have the loading door over here. So this is all the smaller machines because they can come through that front door. So like everything over here, because this concrete was cut when we just put this equipment in here. So everything bigger, like the 80s, will be over here because we weren't able to drop it across since like we had the floor cut. So there's just a hodgepodge of everything stuck on here. So here's gonna be basically the end of the store, which like I said, this will be a massive laundromat. It's probably hard to see. And then this will be like our skill game area. We got this old stove in here. We'll probably wall that off. We put it in this board that's removable so we could get the equipment in and out, but now that's not needed. But like I said, here's all the big equipment. It all had to come in through here instead of the front door because it wouldn't even fit in the front door. But like Craig and Mark came up here and unloaded it all, like, I don't know, it was a week ago or two. But we can't even get into all of it. Like there's some big equipment over there, but we don't want to walk across that floor and fall in, so. Well, we can maybe walk over here though. Yeah. Like here's an 80. I mean, there's a massive dryer. Actually, this is probably a 60. There's an 80. So the big stuff, we won't go in there.
So are you knocking that loft down or what's going on?
I probably not because I'm gonna make the skill game over here. This will probably just be storage because we always need storage for the laundry. We'll make a whole room. It'll be all surrounded. It'll probably be 20. Well, we'll probably start out with 8. And if they go well, we'll just keep adding them. I mean, we'll add them until we fill up the entire room. And the truth is if we fill up the entire room and people are playing them, we'll knock out the storage area. Like we were gonna use that for storage, we'll knock that out and we'll use it there. So like I said, we'll have all this room behind the dryers. So normally you put the dryers like 2 feet. I think we're gonna put them like about 6 feet. And that's part of the reason is just because we have to tile all this. And we're already gonna have such, I mean, we're gonna have massive wide aisles that we're spending a fortune on tile. Like that's half of our construction costs, just the length of the building. Because like I said, I think this is, I want to say 8,000, but again, all these numbers are starting to run together because we're gonna go do another laundry today. That's another massive laundry, but it's actually 2 floors. And it's got like a whole side bay, which I'm actually not even sure we'll be able to get in. We'll definitely get to see the outside, but I don't know if we'll be able to get in because we haven't even started construction. We're doing the plans for permits. And I think that we have a preliminary plan done, but it hasn't been submitted to the city. So this one, we actually have the plan permits. Like I said, we were rolling until the sinkhole, and now we gotta just make sure it's safe. We don't want anybody to get hurt because I mean, it's not worth it. So they got the caution tape. They're gonna do some core samples, make sure that there's no more sinkholes, and then start ripping and rolling again. So it's also all brick building, which I like. Brick is easy to paint. It's a little dirty. We'll probably power wash it. And then we'll use the teal and the white and the black in some form. I actually don't know what the paint scheme will be on it right now. But like I said, when we get closer to having the interior come to completion, we'll start worrying about the paint. Because I don't like to paint buildings too early because then people notice it. So I like to paint buildings and have the sign like when we're almost done, so it really pops. Because people have been driving by it, and once they notice the change, they'll like kind of notice it for a few weeks, but then they keep driving by it. So I want them to notice the change, see something's opening, and then have it ultimately open right after we do that. So like people actually see it, they notice the change, and are expecting something. Because like I said, people drive by something. If we painted it right now, they're used to driving by it painted, and they wouldn't even notice it when we open. So this one is our second one in Kansas City. It's a little bit better for you guys because it's a shell. Right now we have barely started. We cut a couple floors, but we're not even remotely into this thing. We did buy the equipment early, like I said, because we got the interest rates. But if you want to see this thing built from start to finish, you're basically gonna see it. We've done very little. You can watch this thing from cradle to grave. If you like and subscribe, and there's even a bell I just found out about. You ding the bell, and they'll tell you when our new videos come out, so you'll see it right as we're going, right on our timeline. And when it's opening, you'll see it's opening. It'll be just days away on the timeline. Follow the whole thing.